Hello, Photon Chaos here, and I'm doing an updated version of my favorite deck, Red Eyes Black Dragons. And you can also see my tokens, because I'm running some awesome spells that will help me reduce tokens. So be jelly of my evolutional Charmanders tokens. Beautiful things. So, I'm going to running 3 Vanillas Red Eyes Black Dragon, because it's a standard thing. Then I'm going to run 3 Gifford, the Red Eyes Iron Knight. What this card does is, first effect is if it has a card being equipped to it, during either player's turn, you can destroy that card as an optional effect. And then destroy that card and then destroy one other card. Second effect is, while this card has a crypt card equipped to it, I can send that crypt card to the grave to special summon any Red Eyes monster from the grave. Next is the 3 Black Metal Dragons. These cards are the crypt cards for the deck. You equip it to a Red Eyes monster, it gains 600 attack points. If this card is being sent to the graveyard, so you can search out any Red Eyes card from your main deck and add it to your hand. Really good card. Next is 2 Black Stones of Legends. You can only use this card effect once per turn. First effect is you can distribute this card to special summon any Red Eyes monster level 7 or below from your main deck to the field. Second effect is, when it's card in the graveyard, you can send 1 Red Eyes monster from your grave to your deck to add this card back to your hand. You can only use those effects once per turn. Next is Red Eyes Baby Dragon. It's a slow card in the deck, but it gets it done because when it's set on the field and it's destroyed, sent to the grave, you can special summon any Red Eyes monster from your main deck to it, level 7 or below, and then equip this card to it, and then gains 600 attack points. Get enough attack points added to it. If this card is equipped to a monster sent to the grave, you can special summon 1 Red Eyes monster from the grave. Next up is obviously the 1 Red Eyes Auctrain. I only run this card because it's a searcher with black metal, and its effect is still good. It nukes all the opponent monsters on the field that has less than 25 defense. Such a good card, I still favor it. Next up is Light Pulse, because its effect is with Random D, special summon it, bring it back, recycles, and I can send a light in the dark to the grave to special summon it from the grave. Still pretty good. Next is Random D, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Effect is I can special summon 1 dragon type from a hand or grave to the field. You can only do the effect once per turn, but you can special summon as many times you want, use the effects as many times you want because it's considered as a new monster. 1 Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon, just for the burn, and it's another Red Eyes target. Next up is the Hand Traps. Ghost Bell, Haunted Mansion, just because I don't have Ash Blossom Jerry Spring. If I'd had that, I would play that in again. But this card is only does from grave. Negates anything from the grave, or anything that targets from the grave. Just a grave. Then Ghost over Snow Rabbit. Just for anything that is currently on the field, just destroy it. And then Red Eyes Retro Dragon. If I lose a Red Eyes monster by battle or by card effect, I can special summon this card in defense mode to special summon as many Red Eyes monsters that was destroyed as possible back. And then now on to the spells. Twin Twister. Discard a card, pop 2 back row. Pretty good. Red Geki, just destroy the field, monster zone. Monster Reborn, just to special summon something back from the grave. 2 card of the Redstone, discard a level 7 Red Eyes from your hand, draw 2. Pretty good. Next up is Scapegoats. Basically, same thing that helps me with my link plays. Pretty good. Get out 4 tokens, use them as link materials. Next up is 3 Red Eyes Fusion spells. It's a main mandatory thing in the deck. It helps you get out your fusions easy because you send fusion materials to listen on the fusion dragon monster from the extra deck, from your main deck, from your hand or field, and summon to the grave your fusion summon. But you cannot normal summon or special summon for the rest of that turn. Does it mean you can't set a card face down and end your turn? Next up is a Foolish Burial of the deck, Red Eyes Insight. It's technically like a Foolish Burial because you send a Red Eyes from your hand or Red Eyes from your deck to the grave to search out any Red Eyes spell or trap and add it to your hand. You can only use this card effect once per turn. Next is Return of the Dragon Lords. You special summon a level 8 or 7 dragon monster from your grave. While this card is in the graveyard, you can just Banish it to just protect your dragon monsters from being destroyed by battle or card effects. Now onto the traps. 2. Return of the Red Eyes. It's a good card. You can activate this card while you control a Red Eyes monster, special summon a Manila monster from the grave. If this card is being destroyed and sent to the grave, you can special summon any Red Eyes monster from your grave to the field. Next up, Red Eyes Fang with Chain. Good trap card. Equip to a Red Eyes monster you control. That Red Eyes monster can attack up to 3 times that turn. If this card is equipped to a monster, you can send this card to the graveyard out of play its turn and equip one of your opponent monsters to that monster that you're going to have. And that monster gains attack points equal to that monster's current attack. And 2 Call of the Haunted, just because it's the Manila thing, it helps out with special summon any monster from my grave. And it's really good, because if it goes bye-bye, the monster effects go just being destroyed, and then a monster effect can go off, like Black Comet Dragon, for example. Onto my extra deck. I'm running 1 Black Meteor Black Comet Dragon. It's such a good, it needs a level 6 and 1 level 7 Red Eyes monster to get it out. It's a 35 beater. Effect reads as follows. If this card is being special summoned to the field, you can send out 1 Red Eyes monster from your main deck to the grave, inflict half the damage to your opponent equals half the attack. So 28 minus that, so it'd be 14 total if your opponent's taken off the bat. If this card leaves the field by any means, sent to the grave, you can special summon 1 Manila monster from your grave to the field. Really good. Next up is the Oxtreme Black Skull Dragon. Its effect's just too good, and I need 1 Manila Oxtreme card and 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon card. It's a 32 beater. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate no card effects until after the damage calculation. If this card does any battle damage to your opponent, target 1 Red Eyes monster from your grave, reveal it, your opponent takes damage equal to that Red Eyes monster attack, and then shuffle that card back to your deck and reshuffle it. Really good. Next up is 2 Red Eye Slash. Red Eye Slash is pretty good because if it's being equipped to, it gains 200 off the bat. Second, it's just a generic Red Eyes monster with level 7, 28 beater. If you use any card effects that target any of my Red Eyes cards, I can send 1 equip card that this card equipped to and negate the activation and destroy it. If this card leaves the field by any means, you can special summon 1 Red Eyes monster from the grave. And the materials you need is 1 Warrior type monster and 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon. Yes, Red Eyes Black Dragon is the material for it. Now into my XEs. Number 42, my bad, number 41. This card is pretty good. It's basically a built up skill drain while it's face up in defense mode. While it's in attack mode, the effects is good, but it's better than being in defense mode because it negates all face up monsters effects. So your opponent can activate no monster effects, and that gives you turn to get your plays going. 1 number 11, Big Eye. Needs 2 level 7s to get it out. 2 level 7s to get it out. Effect release that follow. Detach 1 material. Take control of 1 of your opponent monsters. This card cannot attack the rest of that turn. So I can send this and that monster to the grave for Link Summon. Next up is 2 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Needs 2 level 7 monsters. It's a 28 beater. Special effects is doing out of player's turn. You can detach 1 material. Special summon 1 Red Eyes on 1 normal type monster from your grave and special summon it. Every time your opponent activates any card effects, they take 500 damage after that card resolves. Next up is more Burning, number 28 Titanic Moth. Needs 2 level 7s, it's a 24 beater. It's a good effect because you can detach 1 material, inflict 500 damage to your opponent for every card in their hand. Other than that, it's not that great. Now on to my links. 1 Triangle Dragon, Twin Triangle Dragon, because effect is, when this card is Link Summoned, pay 500 life points to special summon 1 Dragon type monster from their grave. Other than that, it's pretty good. It helps you out a little bit place. Next up, it's Tigrate Wizard. Basically needs any monster regardless except tokens. And it's good because it's basically a code links. If it code link with 2 cards, it banishes a card. If it code link with 3 cards, it basically negates something. Negate monster effects. It's good. I only use it just because the 2 arrows pointing that direction helps me more. Other than that, next up is Sisudra, the Skull Dread. This card needs at least 2 different monsters with 2 different names. Effects leads as follows. It has 2 monsters linked summoned to this card. You can every monster that is special summon or normal summon to the card where it points to gains 300 attack points. Second effect is if this card is used 3 monsters for it to link summon, you can special summon 1 monster from your hand to the field. If this card uses 4 monsters to link summon it, you can draw 4 cards, shuffle 3 cards back to the bottom of the deck, and other than that, it's pretty good. It's a 28, and it's an Earth type. I favor that card. Next up is Firewall Dragon. You can use, it needs any monsters regardless, so you use Scapegoat. You send all 4 to get out instant Firewall. Firewall is just a 25 beater. Effects, you can bounce any number of cards equal to the co-link card co-link to it. And then if one of the cards that is co-linked to this card is destroyed, you can special summon 1 monster from your hand. So, it's pretty good. And then 1 Decode Token. It needs at least 2 effect monsters to get it out. It's a 23. It gains 500 attack for every card this monster points to, the arrow points to. And if any card that this card points to being targeted by a card effect, destroy that card, and it's just there for protection. Now that's my Red Eyes deck profile. It's pretty good. It did, I want to say 5 out of 1 wins from my locals. And that was playing with Mech Knights, playing with Blue Eyes, playing with 60 card. It played against ABC Busters, a bunch of other decks. Can't remember off the top of my head, but it did pretty good against them, mostly because I burned them. But thanks for watching my video. Hit the like button, subscribe if you like my videos, and thanks to Rev343, he's doing my video. So I will leave a description to his channel right below my description box. So other than that, have a good day and have a fun weekend. Bye.